Good morning. This is KOTG on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
One man was arrested after an incident in central Yankton. Yankton police say it happened just after 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon in the 1700 block of College Street. Officers were helping South Dakota DOC parole agents who were checking on a man in the area. Once officers were inside a home, authorities say the man ran into a back bedroom and took a man and woman hostage.
Officials say the man was allowed to leave the room during negotiations. Then just before 5 o'clock, authorities say officers went into the room, got the woman out safely, and arrested Ricky German. Yankton police say charges are pending. A family in Freeman is okay, but picking up the pieces after a fire destroyed their home. Cody and Haley Roth and their 3-month-old Stetson were not home when the fire started Saturday night.
Haley got home and discovered the fire and called Cody. He rushed there from his parents' home just up the road and started putting the fire out with a fire extinguisher.
And by that time, my father and my cousin came, and those guys got the hose hooked up to the hydrant, and I ran through the house to the other sliding door on the other side and caught a breath of air, came back and started just hosing down the fire, trying to put it down.
They'll have a bull sale on the ranch this afternoon, and Cody's parents will also be selling one of their heifers from last year's crop, with all the proceeds going to Cody and Haley. There's also a GoFundMe set up for them, and it's attached to this story on KELOLAND.com. A Lincoln County deputy is highlighting the importance of organ donation.
Chris Hogan needed a double lung transplant after contracting COVID-19. This week, he marked 2 years since he received the transplant.
I can't thank my donor and their family enough for the gift that they gave me.
Hogan encourages people to become organ donors. More than 100,000 people are on the transplant waiting list.
Now let's send it over to meteorologist Brian Karstens for a check on our forecast and a quick warm-up today, Brian.
Yeah, nice chance to get back to the 40s. Any sunshine we get, that helps a lot. That's probably the biggest driver behind this melting that takes place. However, on the flip side of things, we do have some colder weather in the northeast to deal with, and even a dense fog advisory in effect through mid-morning. It's been affecting those communities near Leola, Ipswich, and Aberdeen. All right, highs today. Well, focus on some good numbers here. 52 in Rapid City, 50 degrees in Pierre, 50 in Yankton. That's a quick look at weather. We'll get to the rest of our forecast coming up.
Thank you, Brian. The South Dakota Supreme Court took up a case involving multimillionaire and philanthropist T. Denny Sanford and a child pornography investigation.
Sanford was never charged in the case that dates back to July of 2020, but that hasn't stopped the media from wanting to unseal the search warrants that were tied to the investigation.
It says these search warrant affidavits are public record because the investigation from the state of South Dakota is over.
But Sanford's attorney argued that the warrants can't be released as is.
There isn't, in fact, a requirement to allow the individual to look at the document first before asking for the information to be redacted.
The High Court will make a ruling on a later date. A downtown Sioux Falls business is hoping to help erase the school lunch debt in the Sioux Falls School District.
Severance Brewing Company is hosting a fundraiser tonight, donating $1 per pint sold. They're also encouraging customers to round up their tab all month long, with 100% of funds raised benefiting the cause.
Definitely, we want to just be able to make sure that kids have a nice hot meal when they're at lunch. You know, sometimes they're struggling at home. Want to make sure when they're at school that they're getting taken care of as well.
The event is today from 4:30 to 9 p.m.
The Northern Lights were found in South Dakota last night in Roberts County. The sheriff's office says they were seen west of Sisseton. In Huron, police say they were visible in the northern part of the city.
The Northern Lights, also known as Aurora Borealis, are more frequently seen in places closer to the North Pole, like Alaska and Canada. They are caused by a cloud of gas from the sun colliding with the Earth's magnetic field. If you have pictures of the Northern Lights in your area, you can send them to ushare@keloland.com. Meanwhile, the dark night sky turned blue in Watertown early Thursday morning. The Watertown Police Department was able to capture this video of an object lighting up the sky.
A meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Aberdeen tells KELOLAND News that no one's quite sure what shows up in the video, as it didn't appear on radar or satellite imagery. The National Weather Service is asking people to pass reports to the American Meteor Society.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, lots of interesting topics to discuss with, from meteors to northern lights. Now, what's going on with the weather? Well, I'd say pretty quiet, really. We've got a nice day today, really, at mid and upper 40 levels in Sioux Falls. That's a good one. We'll take it. We've got 40s and 50s in the Pierre, Chamberlain area. The northeast, it's just kind of that effect of all that recent snow cover. It's harder to get out of the middle 30s, but at least we'll be in that ballpark today. I do expect tonight, as the winds shift around to the north, there could be a few little freckles on radar here and there. It's worth a verbal mention, but I don't expect any significant moisture chances East River. Western South Dakota, we can probably brew up a couple of chances of snow here. I would be mindful of that in a pattern like this. Both Saturday and Sunday, the Black Hills could be susceptible to that. And this north breeze, all that's going to do is it applies pressure to these temperatures. It just contains things quite a bit. So rather than turning up the dial and warming up, we're going to probably slip backwards into Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and more 30-degree weather looking to be more likely. We are going to miss a storm, though, to our south. That's one thing about this cold. It's actually driving the storm track out of KELOLAND for now. And you can see that that system there goes through Illinois, probably a heavy wet snow band on the back side of that. And then you look at early next week, there could be a system that kicks out of the Rockies by Monday. I still want to watch and see what that ends up doing for us here, maybe into early Tuesday. And then basically that big old Hudson Bay low sits up here in Canada, and all that does is it pipes in the colder than normal weather. Can we change this? Well, spring trying to wake up late next week down here in the southern plains, but then all that seems to do is it aggravates the pattern and gets us more into a busy outlook here. You probably have storms on one side of this and probably some heavy wet snows somewhere through the plains. It may be KELOLAND. We've got more time to analyze that. When are we talking about that? About a week out from now. So it's going to be here before you know it. And then April arrives, and then do we add more cold? Probably too. A lot of points here. I'm sure many of you are not too happy to hear about that, but at this point, that seems to be the driving force here. So we'll take today, and a 47-degree high could be the warmest one in Sioux Falls in the next 7 days. That's pretty interesting just to put that statement out there, but given what we're forecasting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I don't think there's any chance at upper 40s. We'll be really lucky if we get to 40. And then if we get beyond that by Wednesday and Thursday, some recovery. And then that system to watch there may be entering the picture as early as Thursday. We'll have more details, I'm sure, about that story later today and then through the weekend. The Aberdeen forecast in the 20s. Boy, that's cool, isn't it? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for highs, even into Wednesday. Just nothing there that looks too warm. Pierre, central South Dakota, upper 30s and low 40s in that region. And these chances of snow can come out into the plains early next week. I do think Rapid City will have more chances as that boundary hangs up closer to the Black Hills. So there are mentions of snow chances Saturday, Sunday into Monday. Check out more details on the weather at KELOLAND.com.